because we'll be...
So, there should be one, Swami, if you like someone. You can tell them which it is.
It is? Namaste. No, let's turn this also on. Let's just... Is that on now?
This is on.
This is on? Okay, now let this also be on. Then I will say that.
I can type it in the chat box.
Yeah, type. And say that if they are not able to see or understand, they may want to come, move over to the site. I mean, they are fine where they are, but if they want to, they should move over here.
Let's see if I can type in Alex. Sometimes this just doesn't listen to me.
How many people are coming to the beginning class?
4 regularly.
4, okay.
Just tell them please go to...
No, if they are not able to follow when we look at the board and other things, and if they have questions, they should migrate over to this because it's a little more interactive, that's all. They don't have to, they are fine where they are, but if they want to, you know, ask questions, or if they're not following when we put up the whiteboard, if they're not following anything, they should move over.
I shouldn't say please migrate, please log on.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Finished? All the? Yeah. Ganapati prayer. Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Okay. Now, oh, no, book 1 only. I don't think we are there yet on book 2. Okay. Rama Shabda.
Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha, Ramam, Ramo, Rama, Ramena, Ramabhyam, Ramaihi, Ramaya, Ramabhyam, Ramebhyaha, Ramat, Ramabhyam, Ramebhyaha, Ramasya, Ramayuho, Ramanam, Rame, Ramayoho, Ramo, He Rama,
He Ramaha.
He Ramaha.
Okay. So then Netru.
Netra, Netra, Neta, Netaro, Netaraha, Netaram, Netaro,
Netru. Then
And then
Netra.
Netra, Netrabhyam, Netrabhihi, Netre, no, Netre.
Yes, Netre.
Netre, Netrabhyam, Netrabhyaha. Okay, and then Netuhu, Netuhu, Netrabhyam, Netrabhyaha. Netruhu, Netruho, Netranam. Netari,
Netroho.
Netroho, Netrashu.
Then
Hey, Hey, Netra, Hey, Netar, Hey, Netar,
Netar.
Hey, Netar,
Ah.
Hey, Netaro,
Yeah.
Hey, Netaraha.
It's not Netar?
No, there is this also Netaha, I think. This was a question.
Look in Anton. Because I don't think so. I think there's something else. Maybe Dha. Yeah, one of them has it, but I don't know about Netar. Yeah.
Maybe it's not Neta.
Hey, Netar. Then
Netaro,
Netaro. Neta. Yeah. Madhu.
Madhu, oh, Madhu, Madhuni, Madhuni, Madhum, Madhuni.
Yeah?
No,
Ah.
no,
Madhum?
Madhu,
Madhum?
no,
Okay. Ah. Start from the beginning.
okay,
Madhu, Madhuni,
Madhuni,
Madhuni. Madhu, Madhuni, Madhuni. This is neuter, so you know that the first two go exactly the same in neuter.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that much if you remember, then Madhu is neuter. Yeah, then?
Madhva, no,
Madhuna,
Madhun, oh, this is,
Yeah.
Madhuna, Madhubhyam, Madhubihi, and then Madhune, Madhubhyam, Madhubhyah, Madhunaha, Madhubhyam, Madhubhyah, Madhunaha, Madhunoho, Madhunam, and then Madhuni,
Another four. Yeah. Madhunoho, Madhushu. Madhusu or Madhushu? Ah, yes. Then
Hey Madhu,
two forms, I think. Yeah.
Hematu or Hematu.
Look and tell there. I think there are two forms. Madhu, Madhu, Madhuni, Madhuni.
Madhu or Madhu?
Ah, Madhu, Madhu, Madhuni, Madhuni. Yeah. Now, Vadhu.
Vadhu, okay.
What does Vadhu mean?
Vadhu.
Vadhu means what?
Madhu is
Madhu. Yeah, what is Madhu?
Madhu neutral.
Yeah, what does it mean?
Honey.
Okay, Vadhu.
Other type.
A honey that starts with another type of honey. Very good. Yes. Yes, Vadhu is wife, bride. Newly wedded wife is called Vadhu. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so Vadhu.
Not Vadhu, Vadhu.
Vadhu.
Ah.
Vadhu.
Uh-huh.
Vadhau. Vadhva. Vadhvaha.
Vadhvaha. Vadhu, Vadhvau, Vadhvaha. Let's speed it up.
Yeah, okay.
Vadhum, Vadhvau, Vadhuhu. Vadhva.
Vadhva.
Ah.
I can't do so fast.
Yeah. If I'm doing
Vadhva,
together with me, you
okay.
do.
I will.
Vadhva, Vadhubhyam, Vadhubhihi.
Vadhvai.
Ah. Vadhubhyam, Vadhubhyaha. Vadhvaha, Vadhubhyam, Vadhubhyaha. Vadhvaha.
Vadvoho.
Ah. Vadhunam.
Vadhvau.
Ah.
No, Vad. Oh no, Vadvam. Okay.
Vadhvam.
Vadvam.
Hmm.
Vadvoho.
Vadhushu. Then
Then
Hey.
hey vadho.
Madhu.
Hey vadho. Hey
Hey, Vadho.
hey vadho. No, hey
Look and tell.
Hey,
Don't
Vadhu.
do guess.
Hey,
Ah,
Vadhu.
it's not Vadhu. It's
Hey,
Vadhu.
Vadhu.
Ah,
hey vadho. Hey
Vadhaha. Abba. Okay.
Hmm.
So now, now the no, I may not write. I may write. We'll see. More, further more.
We should turn the computer.
Turn the computer a little later. Here, perhaps. These are just, I don't have them. Currently we went to called Sutra.
This is, I mean,
I don't know, how did this happen? Is
There
there
are
a
some old
bunch of
books.
papers?
Yeah, some.
Where? In your house?
I brought them here.
Yeah, just look if there are some papers that we can tack on to this, please.
I'm not saying anything Swamiji.
Well,
There,
maybe this class is not,
They're old.
they are rolled up, no?
I didn't see anything. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I can write Swamiji.
I can also write, it's not a problem. It was there, all was written down, and in fact I wrote it down twice because the first time again it got lost.
It is good.
It just shows that Sanskrit is not on the cards, And so, because it keeps doing this and don't know why. So, here what I had said is that there are, nobody's on it.
Oh,
It's everyone that,
They're
I
on
think
here.
they are all on here, if there are any people, I don't know. It's difficult to teach like this because I don't see the people, at least I don't care about Upanishad classes, but
5 people on here.
okay, so I hope they are getting something because I have no idea where to begin because
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, Hainan is saying I'm here.
All right, so whatever it is, we'll hope they get whatever they need to get. So we talked about how there are 10 conjugations where these 2200 root verbs are distributed, although not evenly. So, and the conjugations in Sanskrit are called Gana.
Kana.
Yes. Okay, ganas. So there are 10 ganas, and of which in the beginning we make a study of 4 of them, and we make a study of the 4 supposedly 3 easy ones, and the first one is certainly not easy by anyone's imagination. But we have to study it because I think almost 500 roots, 536 roots are in the first gana. So therefore we have to study the first one. If we could not have, we would leave it, trust me. But since most of the daily usage roots, especially having to do with movement, the things that go, come, and gain, loss, all these daily transactional language is very much infiltrated or populated by the first gana. So we have to study the first gana. So we'll be studying not studying, we'll be going over the first conjugation. Have you done this already in the beginning class? No. Okay.
We just started theatre.
Okay. So first conjugation we will study or go over a little bit. And then we will also go over the fourth conjugation, and then the sixth, and then finally the 10th. And by the end of which we should have and along with all these shabdas that we discussed, that everybody should know, you should have somewhat of a grasp of the vastness of this language and the grandeur of this language after going through some of the verbs. And in going through the verbs, it's not, the whole exercise is not just to go through the verbs, it is also to increase the vocabulary, because each gana will have certain verbs and how they are used, so you are increasing the vocabulary. Okay? So then each gana, each conjugation is of course governed by rules, you know, some general and some very, very specific, which is the reason why we are not studying 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, we are not studying, because in some of the ganas, like for example in the second conjugation, almost every root has a new rule. There is hardly any general rules, you know. So therefore, we are going to, these have been picked up because they have the most consistent set of general rules, and there are some particular rules and exemptions and exceptions in each of them, but those are kind of, you know, manageable, you know, or so we think. Let's find out. So this is basically the thing. And so there are, so what we are going to do today is look at some general rules of deriving certain, you know, ways in which you declare, you see, first we have what is called dhatu, which is the bare naked root verb, to which you have to add, you know, what is called pratyaya, yes, but which pratyaya? Verbal pratyaya. Pratyaya means suffixes. Yeah. So to which you have to add verbal pratyayas, and the verbal pratyayas are again collapsed into one, you know, small Paninian thing called thing. Not thing, thing. So ting anta means verbal endings. Ting ante yasya. So where this thing is, where did this thing come from? What did this thing come from? Because if you look at the verbal endings, so we have ti, taha, these are the verbal endings. We are only looking, by the way, another notation, we are only looking at the present tense, simple present tense. Let's keep it all extremely simple, you know. Yeah, ti, taha, and then anti, which is actually ja, but anyhow. So let's not go there. Yeah, ti, taha, anti. So this is, what is this? First person or third person? Third person. So we have, actually in Sanskrit it's not third person. What is it called? First person. Prathama Purusha. Ti, taha, anti. Si, haha. Everything is telling that this class is challenged. So, si, haha, ha,
It's the same manufacturing sign in Japan.
ni, vaha, maha. These are the verbal endings. So this is called Madhyama Purusha. Why Madhyama Purusha? It's stuck, sandwiched between Prathama and what is the last one? Uttama Purusha. And we have already gone over this. Uttama Purusha means what? I. You know, I, we are. Uttama Purusha. And where did this word come from? Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. Which chapter? 15th chapter. Uttama Purusha Stvanyah. You know, Paramatma iti udakritah. Yolokatrayamavishya vibharti avyayah Ishvaraha. So this Uttama Purusha is Ishvara. Ishvara is who? I. Ishvara is I. And then this I is talking about the world, so that about which it is talked is what is called in English as the third person. And to whom the Jagat, so everything connected to the Jagat, the object, subject, object, and then the other person to whom we are going to address. So this is Atma, this is Anatma, and then in between is the one to whom I am conversing. Yeah, other jivas. Yeah. So this is Ishvara, this is Jagat, other jivas. Fantastic, you know? Yeah. So this is, what is that? A Vedantic view into grammar. That's the only way to learn, really.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the only way to learn. So these we have to, don't ask me why these are the endings, okay? Go ask Panini, you know. And because this already pre-existed. This was already there. So then actually this T, as we'll find out later, you know, if we survive this class, this T is actually what did I do? Tip, but it is written in not full letters. Why? Because it is halantyam. It goes away. Halantyam means that which goes away. So it's kind of there, its shadow is there. And so this is actually thus, and we'll see why later on, much later on. Right now, don't bother the head. But so there is a whole sutra, tip thus ji mip was mus, sip thus thus, mip was mus, all these things, and then e vahi mahing. That and this t becomes thing.
Oh.
Thing. So thing includes all the verbal, endings. 18 verbal endings for the dhatus that behave, dhatus means the verbs that behave in two ways. And so we'll see what that is very quickly, but for now there are two kinds of formations, and this had much more relevance in the ancient times, where there was a significant difference made between whether the action was being performed for oneself or whether the action was being performed on behalf of others, where who was benefiting as a result of the action made the verbs decline in different ways. Okay? And so, in the dhatu patha, in the list of verbs, we will find sometimes if you have a list of verbs, Paninian style, you will find that, for example, it will be written bhu. Okay? And then there will be a P next to it. One P. What is this one?
First conjugation.
First conjugation. And what is this P? Parasmai pada. Parasmai pada root. Let's write it here. Parasmai means on behalf of others. Parasmai is the fourth case of para. Tasmai. Parasmai. And so, pada means word here. And then actions performed on part of oneself. Those roots are Atmane, again fourth case, pada. And even though this is just one word, this is an example of a compound which has a rare compound. These are examples of rare Sanskrit compounds which have retained their case endings here and here. Usually in compounds you swallow up the case endings. This should have been Atmapada and this should have been Parapada. But they have retained the case endings, and such compounds are called aluk. Yeah, makes you take a second look. That's why it's called take a look. And It is called aluk samasa, a compound which retains the case endings or the declensions. This is just little trivia, don't worry about it. So the parasmai pada endings, titaha, anti, right now let us just stick to that. Okay? So this is the parasmai pada endings, and atmane pada endings go, a, or like this, labhate, labhete, labhante. So you see it's similar to this, but te, ete, ante, like this it will go. And so therefore, we are only going to stick to this right now. So now the dhatu is the raw verb. It's like a salad, it needs to be dressed before it can be presented on the table, correct? Yeah, and so in the salad dressing, there should be there are some important components, correct? So what is generally there in a general salad dressing? So you have some oily substance, because otherwise the raw vegetables will not go in unless one is a cow, And then you have to have some zesty things to make it a little more, what is that? Yeah, to stand out. Yeah. So it could be some cheesy thing or some lemony thing or something like that which is specific. So the oil is basic to all the salad dressings.
Yes.
And then you have some extra thing which is particular to, which makes something an Italian dressing or a Spanish dressing or some kind of a dressing, correct? So in this dressing there are two components. Likewise, when you dress the root verb and present it on a dish, then also there are two components. And the oil is this. Everyone will take all of this, correct?
Yes.
But then you have a little bit of zest added. Maybe it is rosemary, maybe it is some, some lemon, maybe it is some chili flakes, make it nice and, spicy, something nice, correct? To bring out that particular, taste of that particular dressing which is being bottled in a particular way. And that specific thing is called the conjugational affix, called gana vikarana. So here the root verb needs two things. First, the specific thing, gana vikarana means the conjugational affix. Sometimes the conjugational affix is denoted by a strange symbol. What is that? Shunya, zero. So then what's the whole point of making a salad dressing and then, putting an affix which is not there, and then which just puts you in a fix. It is really not an affix, but it is there. It is kind of there whose ghost lingers. You see? So what is the purpose of this? It still has a purpose. Yes, it is a placeholder to categorize that particular, conjugation. Pratyaya lope, pratyaya lakshanam. So its effect still inheres, even though that affix has gone because of the force, the titanic force of certain rules that come and sweep it off. And so we are left with as though there is nothing, but it is an important marker for that particular conjugation. Even don't think if it's zero, I don't have to think about it. You don't have to think about it in terms of conjugating, yes, but you know that which you don't have to think about is actually, for example, the sixth conjugation, where no change takes place. That is what the whole thing is. Okay? So much, are you with me?
Yes.
Okay, so this is what, so now in presenting the root, see, I'm not calling it root verb anymore. So to make the root into a salad, what do you need to do? Yeah, you need to have a conjugational affix, plus you need to have what is called tinganta, the verbal affix. The verbal affix is common to all conjugations, even if you don't recognize them. You will recognize the T at the very end, but then the gana vikarana or the conjugational affix has been very cleverly crafted by Panini to address the various conjugations. Okay? Yeah. So much is, so what makes a root verb into a real verb? So we have the dhatu. I'm going to write this again. Dhatu plus what? Conjugational affix plus verbal ending or verbal declension. Okay? Yeah. And this we have no other way except to memorize it. Oh, but you made us memorize so much that we lost all interest in the class. That's why we are not here today. So, yes, but this is what a language is. Language means you have to memorize the rules. You cannot not memorize the, you cannot say teach me language, but then I'm not going to memorize anything. That kind of a language has not been invented, except perhaps baby talk. That's all. That's where you don't have to memorize. Anything that comes is okay. But then you run the risk of no one understanding, because you are going goo goo gaga without memory, but nobody is understanding. Here, if language has to be used as a mode of communication, this we have to memorize, and it's not much. It is what? You memorized 8 by 3 into so many shabdas, so many words. This is only 3 by 3. Nothing. So here, what is this? This is singular, and this is dual here, the middle column, and then this is plural. Okay? So, pi taha anti.
Ti taha anti.
Si taha tha.
Si taha tha.
Mi vaha maha.
Mi vaha maha.
See? Not too bad. Correct? Alright. This much. Okay? Alright. Maybe I can write a little more here. Maybe not. Look for those papers later. I think they are still there. Maybe this. I'll use the other side. They are there somewhere.
There is here somewhere. Definitely.
So, me vaha maha. Now, supposing if we take, there are certain rules we have to see. Supposing if we take the first dhatu of all times, which is that bhu. We take bhu. And this is belonging to the first conjugation. Okay, that much we know. And then there are certain things, the conjugational affix is important, because the conjugational affix decides the behavior of the vowels, if any, in the root. Okay? So supposing we have bhu, is there a vowel? Where? On top, underneath, where?
Underneath.
Okay, underneath. Ooh, correct? So there is a vowel. So immediately we should be alerted that the conjugational affix will, even before it is affixed, will act on the vowel. Okay? So here the rule for conjugating the verbs in the first conjugation is that the final vowel takes guna. First rule. And also, if there is any other vowel other than the final vowel, like a penultimate vowel, here the word penultimate you will find only in Sanskrit teaching. Yeah. What is penultimate?
Next to last.
Yeah. Next to the last word. So, if you have a penultimate vowel, that will also take guna. Okay, and guna and vriddhi we have seen, but we will see again. So, what is the first rule here? Final vowel, of course, takes guna. Gunification. I am really simplifying the rules, okay? Yeah. So then the penultimate vowel have two rules. Alright? We'll come back to bhu. So what did this happen now? You know? Yeah. This becomes what? If it undergoes guna, what happens to this?
Oh.
Huh?
Oh. Yes.
Oh.
Oh.
Ah. What is out? What is out?
The long.
What is that called?
Vriddhi.
We're not talking of vriddhi. Guna.
Oh.
What is guna? The first level of strengthening of any vowel is called guna. So when the e, what happens to, what is the guna of e?
Okay.
U? Oh. Don't think the long u becomes out. No. Ah. U becomes o. R becomes
R.
r. R, if any, becomes r. Okay? So this is what is called gunification. So we are not even at the level of the conjugational affix which is saved for the last operation. Immediately, upon looking at the conjugational affix from a distance, what happens to the vowel? It flowers into what? Who becomes?
Oh.
Yeah. So we are not just talking of the root verb bhu, we are talking of a root that has taken a sprout. And what is that? Bho. So bhu has become bho as a result of which rule out of these two? Second one.
Fine.
No? Sure?
First one, yes.
Okay, the first one. Right?
Yes.
As a result of this particular rule, what has happened to bhu? It has become bho, which also is an address for revered people. Nothing to do with this. That's a word by itself. An indeclinable word. If you want to address Bhagavan or Guru or revered, you say Bho Swamin, you will say. Or Bho Guru, you will say. Correct? Yeah. And that Bho, not to be confused with this Bho. This Bho is still a word in the oven. It is in the making, you know. It's not yet, it's still kacha, means raw. It needs some operation still happen. But what it did was, it got scared at seeing the Ganavikarana, the conjugational affix, and immediately grew bigger. Yeah, because this is what animals do sometimes. You know, like a cat, if it encounters a big dog, it will make itself big and walk sideways. It will never show the skinny side of itself. So bhu grew to meet the conjugation, to greet the conjugational affix. The bhu became bho. Okay? Now, then we come to the star of the show. What is that? The Ganavikarana itself, the conjugational affix. What is the conjugational affix for the first conjugation? Actually, it is shap. And p goes away. Why? Halantyam. You know, the final letter is dropped and the final consonant is dropped. And then sh goes away by?
No.
Lashak vadadhite. It goes away. And what remains? Nothing. Nothing?
But remains.
Remains. Very good, because it's already written down. It must remain. Remains. So therefore, we are just going to cut off all the frills and call it a. Why call it shap and then reduce it to a? Waste of time. Let's just call it a. So the conjugational affix, also known as Ganavikarana, is nothing but a. Okay? And rule number 4. Some of these are common, you will be happy to know, to the other conjugations also. Okay? So as you write these down. So rule number 4 is that this is dropped. This it is putting it the Antoine way. Panini will be rolling in the grave if he heard this, but never mind. This is dropped in the third person singular. Sorry, third person plural. Let us see what this means. Okay, what is the third person plural?
Anti.
Anti, right? Yeah. Like if we take the root word pat, to fall. Pat plus a plus ti, patati. Pat plus a plus taha, patataha. Pat plus a plus anti. What should it become? Patanti. But what is it really? Patanti. Therefore, that is, bid goodbye. Let us say the third person plural is allergic to the Ganadikarana. So they will say, hold off this item from my dressing. So this one has a slight allergy, So the third person plural wants things gluten free. So the is dropped. Free. Okay?
Yes.
But then there are some people who want double helpings of this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They want double. They say, okay, whatever.
Oh yeah.
They want double helpings. They are not happy with this one. This is dropped in the third person plural. But this is doubled or lengthened into You have to open one. Otherwise it just It should, if it doesn't hurt, you have to say Okay? So, this is lengthened Is that the correct spelling of lengthened? Okay. Lengthened in verbal endings beginning with
Ma, Bava and Ma.
With Vakara and Makara. And let us go and I'll give you a minute to write it down and then let's go and look at that. Where are the endings beginning with Vakara and Makara?
Vaha and
Where are they?
first person.
In the first person,
To and
what about singular?
me.
Singular also. Don't just say dual and plural.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. So here, these people over here, these endings, let's imagine all of these people have come to the restaurant, okay? Right. And so these people over here, they say we need a double helping of this conjugational affix. So pat plus si, pat plus a plus si, patasi. But pat plus a plus me would have become, would have become
Patami.
patami. Whereas, what is the correct one? Patami, patavaha, patamaha. Correct? Yeah. So this is why we have these rules, so that in one look we can see what all is going on here. Maybe not in one look. Okay, so we can see what all is going on here. I think that concludes the rules of the first conjugation. See, so easy. So easy. So first is the final vowel undergoes some changes. guna based changes. Don't bring vriddhi here, it's only guna. And then the penultimate, the medial vowel. Yeah, we shouldn't call it penultimate. It's better to use the word medial. The medial vowel also undergoes guna changes in accordance to the table. You can find the guna vriddhi table anywhere. And then the conjugational affix is a, and then that is dropped in the case of anti, which is the plural of the first person, third person, and then that is doubled or lengthened in the case of the uttama purusha or the first person affixes. These are the rules of the first conjugation. So now let us decline, who we will see later. Let us decline pat. Patati, patataha, patanti, not patanti. Why? Rule number 4. By rule number 4, this is patanti, not patanti. Patasi, patathaha, patatha. Patami by rule number 5. Patavaha, again by that same rule, and patavaha. But even if we go before that, where is the vowel in pat? Where? What is that? Ha? A. So the a is the vowel in the middle. So a should undergo guna. What is the guna for a? So that makes it easier. Guna for a is thankfully a only, and so there is no changes. It looks like there are no changes because it is the same thing. So patati means he, she, it falls. Patataha means they both fall. Patanti, they all fall. Ring around the roses, all fall down. And then patasi, you fall. And patathaha, you both fall. Patatha, you all fall. Patami, I fall. Patavaha, we both fall. Patamaha, we all fall down. Correct? Yeah. So this is basically what the whole thing is. Okay, I think this is enough for today. So what we will do is make some sentences based on this. Make some sentences. Oh, somebody is here. I thought nobody was here. We didn't turn this. Oh, Kavita, you know, no, nobody was here. So basically, we are broadcasting on that other one.
We can save this.
Live stream. So you can catch up on that, okay? Yeah. Now it's okay. Now I'm going to do some exercises. So now I want you to translate some sentences which I give in English based on whatever you have learnt from the shabdas, the conjugations, the nominal conjugations, and based on this lesson on the verbal conjugation. Okay, so this is devoted. We are going to devote some time to exercises. I want to focus this here. Exercises, and what are those exercises? You will come to know just now. So some things we will do, and let us see now. Rama falls from the tree. Translate that.
Ramaha
Yeah.
vrikshat patati.
Patati. Very easy. Ramaha, Ramo, vrikshat, patati. Rama falls from the tree. 2 fruits fall from the tree.
Kale vrikshat patatha.
Hmm?
Oh no, patatha. Patataha.
Patataha. Yeah. Even though you may be thinking patataha, what comes out sometimes is patatha. We have to be careful, the pronunciation. So it always helps to look at the table. Vrikshat, phale patataha, and then if we were to say two children move in the village.
Munihi? No, that's the Shishu.
Let her do, yeah.
Shisha. Two children fall from the tree.
They don't fall from the tree.
No, what are
they? No, they are not falling from the
No.
tree. They are moving in the village. They move
They're
in the
moving.
village.
Okay,
Yeah.
so two children. Shisho.
Yeah.
Shishu. Okay. Guruhu. Guru.
Ah.
Okay. Shishu.
Ah.
They move in the village.
Yes.
Shishu. Village. Grama or
Grama, village.
Grama, okay. Shishu grame charataha.
Ah. Shishu grame charataha. You could have made it easier for yourself by saying balau. That
Oh,
also is
Balau.
yeah, just like Rama. You could do that also.
Yes.
That is the nice thing about Sanskrit. You can say balau grame charataha gacchataha, anything. Sarataha, you can use so many sri to move. Sanskrit is full of movement. So many verbs describing
Are there
movement.
differences from Jimmy?
Huh?
Like
Very, very
just
slight.
slight.
Yeah. And you only, if you studied it for a long time, you know things between, like you will not say apaha, the waters. You will not say, for example, charanti. That is not like generally used, because char is kind of moving on land, on a kind of a things. Even the water moves on land, but somehow you will use the flowing things. Yeah. Dravanti, saranti. Sara is also okay because it's yeah. And so like that. So there is so many, and some of them are identical, Go, yeah, yati, ya, to go, All these things, they're all about going, coming, like this, Nripaha, now back into English. Nripaha putraya phalani yachati. Nripaha putraya phalani yachati. Naraha, man. Nripaha, not
king.
man.
The
Yeah.
king gives fruits.
Yeah.
Gives fruits
Yeah.
to the children. Putraha.
What is putra?
Putra, child. Oh,
Whose child?
son.
Ah.
King's child.
Whose child?
King's son.
His own son.
Son.
Yeah. So
The
the
king gives fruits
yeah,
to his son.
to his son. That is how. So that means that there is there is a kind of a refurbishment of the vocabulary that can be done, So this book, I don't know if you've already put Antoine book here. You haven't put?
No, I haven't used it.
No, I may have put. Have you seen it?
I didn't look at something.
There was earlier. Let me see.
We do have a nice list from Swami Sakshapji, which is more pertinent vocabulary.
Oh, because I have not looked at that book at all. So I will just put up the Antoine for now, and then later we'll change it. Because if I'm not familiar with it, and if they are talking about it, I won't know what it is. So that's why I will put up one file of the book that we will be following from now on. and you can just
I think it's on that computer.
it's on the no, it's here also on my earlier content, but I don't know the name of it. I will find it and put it on. It is here. It's somewhere. Sanskrit. Oh, here. I'm going to put up two things. I'm going to put up Sanskrit verb conjugation 14610. That's going to come up here. So that will have a summary of all these rules. And then I'm going to put up one more document later, which will help you with some of the vocabulary and the homework that will be there. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so now this one you can download, and those who are taking the class on that, it's a very difficult medium to teach in because I don't know who you are. I don't know what your level is. I don't know whether you're understanding this or not. So if you wish to continue, I encourage you to come on this classroom, the Adobe classroom, because at least we can interact, because in Upanishad and other teachings it doesn't matter. But for the language, I need to know that you're understanding, otherwise there is, no point in teaching if you are not able to follow this. So, if you're planning to attend this, come on the Adobe website and the other classroom that we have from next time onwards. So that is what we'll do.
And we can use this computer for that Swamiji because it's got more RAM and it will make it easier.
Yeah, so we will not project it on this. And in fact, I will go in and cancel the projections for the Sanskrit classes, because there's no point. It's very difficult to follow. Unless there is some problem with this, then we can put that into operation. Today, somebody was noticing a bar. But if there is a bar, let it not disbar you from, logging out and logging back on. Please log out and log back on. It could just be your computer has frozen. It could be many, many different things. So this is how we will continue, and that is why I continue to practice the nominal affixes that we have studied, all the shabdas, and then continue to practice the ti, taha, anti, and then next time we will complete the first conjugation. Okay? Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.